I am the Lord your God, and I have come to deliver a message of urgency to your soul. Listen carefully, for the enemy sought to strike your house with tragedy, but my hand has moved against him. What was meant to destroy your son, I have overturned by my power. You were not aware of the shadow that crept near, but I saw it. You were not able to fight what was rising against your child, but I commanded my servant, the Archangel Michael, to draw his sword and intercept the destroyer. Do not take this lightly. I speak now because your family has been targeted. The adversary wanted to place sorrow in your heart, to crush your hope, to pierce your faith with pain. But I, the Lord, have intervened, and I have sent my warrior angel to stand in the gap. The life of your son was marked by the snares of darkness, but I have declared, not this one. He belongs to me. You must understand, my child, that there are battles you do not see. There are plans whispered in the shadows against those who carry my light. And the enemy, full of envy, rage, and hatred, sets his eyes on the future generations, on the sons and daughters who will rise with purpose. That is why the attack was aimed at your son. The enemy desired to steal him, but I have written a different destiny. I have called him to live. I have called him to fulfill. I have called him to walk under the shield of my glory. Today, I expose what was hidden. There was an appointment with tragedy, but I canceled it. There was a snare laid upon the road, but I commanded Michael to crush it. There was a weapon lifted in secret, but I have broken it before it could be released. For I have spoken, and when I speak, no hand can overturn my decree. Hear me clearly. The angel of death passed by, but the blood of my covenant spoke louder. The enemy waited to see your tears, but instead, he will see your praise. What could have been your deepest night has been turned into a testimony of light. And I declare this over you now. What was meant for evil will turn for good, and what was meant to destroy your child will become the very proof of my divine protection. Take this warning to heart. The devil does not rest. He plots, he whispers, he schemes, but greater is he that is with you than he that is in the world. I am your defender, and I have placed my heavenly armies around your household. Do not live in fear, but live in awareness. Keep your faith sharp. Do not walk in negligence, for the enemy prowls seeking whom he may devour. Yet my hand rests upon your son, and my covenant stands unshaken. I speak to you today, so that you may know that I am near. I am not distant. I did not forget. I did not turn away. I saw the danger before you could, and I moved on your behalf. This is your celestial warning. Your son was saved, not by coincidence, not by chance, but by divine intervention. The Archangel Michael stood in the breach, and his presence has sealed the outcome. Remember my words in Psalm 91. He shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. I have fulfilled this promise in your life. You may not have seen Michael with your eyes, but you have witnessed the result of his obedience to my command. He was there, fighting where you could not, standing where you were unaware, defending where you were vulnerable. Now you must choose how you will respond. Will you treat this as a passing thought, or will you recognize the holy intervention that has just taken place? If you believe my word, declare it openly. Let faith rise in you. Speak life over your son daily. Stand in agreement with me, and the protection that covered him will multiply and remain. The celestial warning has been spoken. I, the Lord your God, have saved your son from a tragic fate. Honor this miracle with your faith, for to ignore it is to leave the door open for the enemy's return. Seal this word now with trust, with praise, with testimony, for I have acted, and my hand will not be moved. Write in the comments, I believe in God's protection over my family. By declaring this, you align your faith with my decree, and the enemy loses his claim. I am the Lord your God, and I reveal to you now the presence of my mighty warrior, the Archangel Michael. Do not think of him as a distant figure in the pages of ancient scripture, for he is alive, he is active, and he stands at my command to defend those who are mine. When the shadow drew near to your son, it was Michael I dispatched, with the flame of my authority burning in his hand, and the power of my word girded around him. You must understand the truth. There are angels assigned to your life, but Michael is unlike the rest. He is the captain of my hosts, the one who wars against the powers of darkness that no human strength can withstand. When I sent him, it was not a gentle mission, but a declaration of war. He did not come to comfort the enemy. He came to destroy him. He did not come to debate. He came to strike. He did not come to watch. He came to fight with fury, because the life of your son was precious in my sight. The enemy thought he could slip in unnoticed. He thought he could bring calamity without resistance. But Michael appeared, radiant like fire, and the adversary trembled. The darkness tried to surround your child, but Michael drew the line and said, "This one belongs to the Lord, and no power of hell will cross this boundary." And so it was sealed. When I speak of my angels, some imagine them as delicate beings, fragile as mist. But I tell you the truth, they are warriors. Michael carries a sword forged not by human hands, but by my word itself. Every stroke of that sword carries eternal authority. Every swing shatters chains and annihilates curses. When he descended to your defense, he cut through the cords of death that were tightening around your son. He broke the agreements the enemy had made in secret. He shattered the handwriting of sorrow that had been prepared. Do you think this battle was small? It was great. In realms you cannot see, there was a clash. Demonic powers screamed in defiance, but Michael roared with my decree, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan." And the moment those words thundered, the darkness fled. Just as he contended for the body of Moses, just as he fought for Israel, he fought now for your child, for your lineage, for the testimony I have chosen to raise in your house. Take this revelation to heart. The Archangel Michael is not a myth, nor is he bound to the past. He is present even now, standing guard. When your prayers rose like incense before my throne, I dispatched him. When your tears fell, I recorded them, and I said, "Michael, go." He obeyed swiftly, and because of that obedience, you stand today not in mourning, but in thanksgiving. Know this, Michael does not act apart from me. He acts by my command. The glory is mine, the power is mine, but I delight in using my servants to fulfill my will. And I say to you, do not neglect the knowledge that angels walk with you. When you pray, they move. When you declare my word, they are empowered. When you cry out in faith, they surround you. The enemy fears those who walk with heavenly armies, though the world may see nothing. Even now, I want you to realize that Michael's presence has left a mark in your home. Though your eyes may not see him, the atmosphere has shifted. Where there was fear, peace has entered. Where there was heaviness, hope now rises. Where there was danger, protection has encircled. This is not imagination. This is reality. But I warn you, do not grow careless. The presence of Michael is a gift, but your faith must remain steadfast. Do not speak words of doubt, for doubt feeds the enemy. Do not open the doors of sin, for sin invites his return. Stand in holiness, stand in trust, stand in prayer. When you remain aligned with me, my angels are empowered to act continually. My child, I say to you now, lift your voice and declare, "The Archangel Michael guards my family." Write it in your heart and also declare it publicly. Go to the comments and write these words as a seal of your faith. Michael stands guard over my house. When you declare it, you affirm what I have done. You testify before heaven and earth that you recognize the miracle. I have not left you unprotected. I have not left your son vulnerable. The adversary roared, but my angel roared louder. And I tell you, this is only the beginning. The same Michael who shielded your son will continue to fight battles unseen, because you are mine, and those who belong to me are never abandoned. This is the presence of Michael, fierce, radiant, unyielding, commanded by my voice, moving for your sake. Receive it, believe it, and proclaim it. For I am the Lord, and I have set my angel over you. I am the Lord your God, and I open your eyes now to the truth you did not see. For while you were resting, while you were unaware, the enemy was plotting against the life of your son. Hear me clearly. The adversary is a thief. He comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And he set his eyes on your child, because he knows that within your son lies a future, a calling, and a legacy that carries my purpose. Do not think lightly of this. The reason your son was targeted is because the enemy fears what he will become. He fears the light he will carry. He fears the blessing that rests on him. He fears the destiny I have written in my book before the foundations of the earth. And so, in his envy, he sought to cut off the branch before it could bear fruit. He devised a plan to take his life, to bring sorrow into your house, to shake your faith with pain so deep you could hardly stand. There are things hidden from your natural eyes that I, the Lord, see. The enemy whispered lies in the night, sending spirits of destruction to encircle your son. He plotted accidents, he stirred confusion, he moved in shadows, he sought to create a moment, a single event that would change everything for the worse. Had I not intervened, you would have tasted bitter tears, and your heart would have been pierced. But I revealed his plan and shattered it before it was born. My child, understand the seriousness of what I am telling you. There was an appointed trap laid at your son's feet. The enemy sharpened his weapon and waited. But the moment he lifted his hand, my command was already sent forth. I dispatched Michael, and the snare was broken. The devil's scheme dissolved like smoke before my fire. I tell you this not to make you afraid, but to make you aware. The attack was real, and the danger was near, yet my hand was nearer still. What you call coincidence was my intervention. What you call luck was my covenant. What you call a close escape was my angel standing in the gap. Let me show you the depth of the enemy's hatred. He wanted your son to be silenced before his voice could carry my truth. He wanted him lost before he could be found. He wanted him destroyed before his purpose could flourish. But I said, no, I am the author of life, and no one can erase what I have written. Remember my words in Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. The enemy formed the weapon, but it could not prosper. He lit the fire, but it burned out. He stretched his hand, but it was struck down. Because you and your household are under the covering of my name. Yet hear me, the enemy will not stop desiring your downfall. His rage is unending, his power is limited. He strikes only where there is an opening. That is why I call you now to stand in prayer, to guard your home, to speak life over your children daily. Cover them in faith, for your faith builds a wall the devil cannot climb. Speak my word over your son, for my word is a sword in the Spirit. And when you speak it, angels are empowered to move. Consider what has just happened. Your son's life was hanging in the balance, but today he breathes because I stretched out my hand. Do not dismiss this as nothing. This is a miracle, a sign of my love, a testimony that I am near. I protected him not only for today, but for the days yet to come. For I have plans for him, plans to prosper him and not to harm him, plans to give him a future and a hope. This chapter of his life will become a testimony that shapes his future. He will live because I declared it. He will walk because I preserved him. He will fulfill his destiny because I cut off the hand that tried to stop him. And one day he will know that I, the Lord his God, was the shield that covered him when danger approached. Now I ask you, my child, will you believe me? Will you testify that your son is under my protection? Will you stand boldly and declare that the enemy failed? I urge you to proclaim it. Speak it out loud. Write it where others can see. Say it with faith, so that the devil knows he has lost. And heaven hears your gratitude. Go now and write in the comments, The enemy failed. My son is protected by God. This declaration is more than words. It is a seal of agreement with my word. As you write it, you are standing in the truth, and you are testifying that my hand has moved in your family. Never forget, your son was under attack, but the attack was broken. What was meant for death has turned into life. What was meant for sorrow has turned into testimony. And this is only the beginning of the story I am writing in your house. I am the Lord your God, and I reveal to you what truly happened when I intervened for your son. You see only with human eyes, but I see from eternity. I watched as the enemy tightened his grip, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash tragedy. He had set his snare, he had woven his net, he had sharpened his blade, and in his pride, he believed nothing could stop him. But he did not know that my hand was already stretched forth, and my angel was already moving at the sound of my command. Listen to me carefully. There are moments in your life when you walk at the edge of the valley of the shadow of death, and you do not even know it. There are seconds, breaths, steps that seem ordinary, but in the unseen realm, they are battles between life and death. Your son stepped into one of those moments. The enemy wanted that moment to become the end of his story, but I decreed that it would not be his end. It would be a testimony of my glory. When I sent Michael, he did not hesitate. His sword burned with my word, and the darkness scattered before him. Where death had stretched its shadow, light broke through. Where the curse had been written, Michael's blade tore it to pieces. Where chains had begun to form, he shattered them into dust. Do not think this was symbolic. This was real. The very breath of death was silenced because I spoke life. The destroyer thought he would strike swiftly, but as he lifted his hand, my voice thundered from heaven. Stop! This one is mine! And with that decree, the enemy lost all authority. Michael descended with the full force of my order, striking down the powers that sought your son's life. The devil trembled, for he remembers the day Michael cast him out of heaven. He remembers the strength that defeated him once and defeats him still. And in that moment, the one who plotted against your son fled in shame and terror, because no power of darkness can resist the decree of the Lord of hosts. My child, I want you to feel the weight of this truth. Your son is alive because I intervened. You may think, it could have been worse, or it was just an accident avoided. But no, this was divine intervention. The accident never happened because I broke it before it was born. The arrow never pierced because I snapped it before it was loosed. The storm never struck because I silenced it before it could rise. This was not chance. This was my mercy. This was my covenant. This was my hand moving on behalf of your house. Do you remember my promise in Psalm 121? The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. That promise has come alive for you today. I preserved your son's going out, and I preserved his coming in. He walked through the valley, and I walked with him. He was surrounded, but I encircled him with my shield. And now I say to you, let this intervention change your faith. Do not live as though this was ordinary. Do not diminish the miracle by calling it coincidence. Lift your eyes and recognize, heaven fought for you. My word prevailed for you. My angel moved for you. My hand saved your son. This is your testimony. This is your miracle. But take heed, my child. Miracles are not only to be received, they are to be remembered. If you forget what I have done, you will weaken your faith for what is yet to come. But if you remember, if you testify, if you proclaim, then every future battle will be won with the memory of my past victories. Your faith will be like a tower, and your testimony will be like a sword. Therefore, I call you now to declare what has been done. Do not remain silent. Do not keep this hidden. Write it, speak it, proclaim it. Go to the comments and declare these words. God intervened. My son lives because of the Lord. Write it as an act of faith. Write it as a testimony. Write it as a weapon against the enemy who hoped for your silence. The more you declare my works, the more my name is glorified and the enemy is shamed. Every word of testimony builds a wall of fire around your family because it honors me and rebukes the accuser. So speak it out. I intervened. I saved. I preserved. I overturned what the devil intended. My child, this is the divine intervention. Your son's life was hanging by a thread, but I cut the hand that sought to sever it. Your house was close to sorrow, but I pushed sorrow far away. Your heart was close to breaking, but I filled it with peace instead. Rejoice and never forget. I am the Lord who saves, and today I have proven my word once again. I am the Lord your God, and I tell you this truth. Whenever I act, I leave a sign. I do not move in silence without leaving behind a trace of my glory. I do not deliver without confirming that it was my hand. You may not always recognize it at first, but if you look back, you will see that I gave you signals, whispers, and confirmation that heaven was moving for your son. Some of you have already noticed small things, but you dismissed them. You thought it was your imagination. You thought it was just a coincidence. But I say to you now, those were not accidents. They were signs from me, signs to remind you that you are not alone, that I have heard your prayers, and that I am watching over your household. Remember this, the enemy comes suddenly, but I always prepare my children beforehand. Even before the danger drew near, I placed a stirring in your spirit. You may have felt uneasy. You may have felt the need to pray for your son, even if you did not know why. That was not random anxiety. That was my spirit moving in you. That was me nudging your heart to cover him in prayer, to build a shield before the attack came. And then, when the moment arrived, I sent signs of my presence. Maybe you felt an unusual peace when there should have been fear. Maybe you saw your son escape what could have harmed him, and you thought, that was close. No, my child, it was not just close. It was me. My hand was there. I was holding back the tragedy. I was speaking louder than the storm. Even nature itself testifies when I move. The enemy wanted chaos, but I sent calm. The enemy wanted destruction, but I sent protection. The enemy wanted to blind you, but I opened your eyes. And I say to you now, do not call it chance, call it what it truly is, a sign from heaven. Think of how I have always worked. When I sent deliverance to Israel, I gave signs and wonders. When I sent my prophets, I confirmed their words with miracles. When I sent my son, the heavens opened and declared, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." I always leave a mark of my movement, and in your house, I have done the same. That stirring in your heart, that sudden thought to pray, that peace that came unexpectedly, that close escape that seemed impossible, all of these were my fingerprints. I was showing you that the Archangel Michael was near, that my spirit was surrounding your son, that my covenant was unbreakable. Now I speak to you. Pay attention to my signs. Do not overlook them. The more you honor them, the more I will show you. If you dismiss them, you walk blind. But if you acknowledge them, your eyes will open, and you will begin to see my hand in every detail of your life. The signs are not only for this day, they will continue to appear, for I delight in reminding you that I am with you always. Let this word settle deeply. Your son was saved, and the proof of my intervention is already visible. Look carefully at the path he walked, and you will recognize the divine markers I placed there. They are there so that you never forget, so that you never doubt, so that you never call my miracle by another name. And now I ask you to testify. Testimony is the key that unlocks greater revelation. Testimony seals the miracle and silences the enemy. Go now and write in the comments, "I see the signs of God in my life." Declare it boldly. By doing so, you acknowledge my hand and you strengthen your faith. Each word you write becomes a light that pushes back the darkness and reminds the enemy of his defeat. I have given you the sign. I have left you the evidence. And I tell you again, your son's survival was not luck. It was divine design. Heaven moved, angels fought, my spirit stirred, and my covenant held strong. The signs of heaven are upon you, and they will continue to guide you if you keep your heart attentive. Never forget, I do not save in secret. I save with power. I save with evidence. I save with signs that point back to my glory. And today, your house is the living proof that I, the Lord, still move in power. I am the Lord your God, and I declare to you with certainty, the miracle is not distant. The miracle is not delayed. The miracle is not for some far-off day that may or may not arrive. The miracle is for today. This very moment you breathe, this very day you live, is the day I have chosen to display my power in your house. You prayed for protection. You cried out for mercy. You asked that your son be spared, that his future would not be cut short. And I heard you. Not only did I hear, but I acted. You are living inside the very answer you longed for. Do you not see it? The miracle is already in your midst. The enemy wanted you to believe that miracles are only for others, that they are only stories from ancient times, that they are promises spoken but never fulfilled. But I am here to silence that lie. Look at your son. He lives. Look at your family. You are together. Look at your home. Grief has not entered. That is the miracle of today. I am not a God who speaks of promises without fulfilling them. I am not a father who makes empty declarations. My word is living, my covenant is binding, and my power is unchanging. What I did in the days of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, and Daniel, I still do today. And what I did for them, I have done for you. The pages of Scripture are not just history. They are a living reality, repeating themselves in your house because my word never passes away. Today is not ordinary. Do not treat it as common. This day has been marked in heaven as the day when my protection was proven, when my power was revealed, when my love was demonstrated. If you walk away unchanged, you will rob yourself of the fullness of this miracle. But if you receive it with faith, your life will be transformed forever. Remember how I moved in the days of Israel. Every time I acted, I commanded them to build an altar, to leave a memorial, to tell the story to their children. Why? Because I never wanted them to forget that I am a God who works in the present, not just the past. And I say to you, this is your altar, this is your memorial, this is your story. Teach it to your son. Speak it in your family. Tell others what I have done, for this day is holy, a day of miracle. Do not say to yourself, perhaps it was just chance. Do not reduce my glory to coincidence. The miracle of today is not random, it is divine. Every breath your son takes now is stamped with my signature. Every step he walks from this day forward carries the seal of my mercy. He should not have lived, but I willed it otherwise. He should have been lost, but I decreed that he would be found. He should have been destroyed, but I wrote life over his name. And now I say this to you with power. Because you are standing inside the miracle of today, new blessings are about to unfold in your house. What began with protection will expand into provision. What began with deliverance will extend into prosperity. What began with the saving of your son will overflow into the saving of your entire household. The miracle you see today is only the first wave of a greater outpouring that is on its way. Do you believe this, my child? Will you embrace this miracle, or will you let it pass as though nothing happened? The measure of your faith will determine the measure of your testimony. If you believe deeply, I will show you greater things. If you doubt, you will see little. But if you stand firmly and declare, this is the day the Lord has made, this is the miracle the Lord has given me, then your house will overflow with even more wonders. So I call you now. Seal this miracle with your voice. Speak it, declare it, testify of it. Go to the comments and write these words. Today is my miracle. God has saved my son. Write it as a public testimony. Write it as a covenant with your own eyes. Write it as a weapon against the enemy. When you testify, you not only honor me, you also close the mouth of the accuser who seeks to deny what I have done. The miracle is today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. This is your moment. This is your proof. This is your sign that I am with you, that I am for you, and that nothing formed against you will stand. Rejoice in it, proclaim it, and never forget it. For I am the Lord your God, and I have chosen this very day to remind you that miracles are not finished. They are alive, and they are yours. I am the Lord your God, and I speak to you now directly, without veil, without shadow, without the need of another voice between us. My child, open your heart and hear me. I know your fears. I know your questions. I know the weight that presses on your soul. I have seen the nights when you wondered if I truly hear you. I have watched the moments when you doubted whether I was near. And now I say with power and tenderness, I am here. I am speaking. I have never left you. The world may tell you that I am distant, that I am silent, that I am far away on a throne untouched by the struggles of your life. But that is a lie whispered by the enemy to make you feel abandoned. The truth is this: I am closer to you than your very breath. Every beat of your heart is sustained by my hand. Every tear you have shed has been collected by me. Every prayer you have whispered in weakness has reached my throne with strength. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are not unheard. I say to you, as I said to my servant Joshua, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That word is not only for the past, it is for you now. When you walk through the fire, I am with you. When you pass through the waters, I will not allow them to overflow you. When the enemy rises like a flood, my spirit will lift up a standard against him. Listen to me. I am not a man that I should lie, nor a son of man that I should repent. Every promise I have spoken to you, I will fulfill. I told you that your son would live, and he lives. I told you that I would send my angel, and Michael has stood guard. I told you that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and already you see that word alive in your house. Why then do you doubt? Why then do you let fear control your thoughts? Do you not know that I am faithful? I speak to you now, so that you may be delivered from fear. Fear is the chain the enemy uses to bind my children. Fear whispers that danger is near, that disaster is certain, that hope is vain. But I, the Lord, am not the author of fear. I give power. I give love. I give a sound mind. If fear has spoken to you, silence it now with my word. Say in your heart, the Lord is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And as you speak it, watch how fear flees, for it cannot dwell where faith is alive. My child, do not live as though you are powerless. Do not walk as though you are defeated. I have given you authority. I have placed my spirit within you. I have clothed you with my armor. You are not a victim of chance. You are a chosen vessel of destiny. When you speak my word, heaven moves. When you pray in faith, angels are released. When you declare my promises, the foundations of hell tremble. You may look at yourself and say, but I am weak. I have failed. I am not worthy. And I answer you, yes, you are weak, but my strength is perfected in weakness. Yes, you have failed, but my mercy is greater than your failure. Yes, you are unworthy, but my blood has made you worthy. Do not disqualify yourself from what I have qualified you for. You are my child, and I have called you by name. Now hear this clearly. I do not only speak to prophets, priests, or kings. I speak to you. My voice is not reserved for the great. It is given to the humble, to the hungry, to the desperate who seek me. And you have sought me, and that is why I speak to you now. Train your ears to hear. Remove the noise of the world and listen for the whisper of my spirit. I will guide you in the small things and in the great. I will direct your steps if you lean not on your own understanding, but trust in me with all your heart. This is my command to you. Rise in faith. Guard your son in prayer. Cover your home with my word. Do not wait for another attack to awaken your spirit. Be alert. Be watchful. Be steadfast. The enemy tried once and failed. He will try again. But if you walk in my presence, he will fail again and again until he is utterly ashamed of even approaching your house. And now, my beloved child, I ask you to respond. Will you receive my voice, or will you let it pass as if it were nothing? I want you to seal this moment with a declaration of faith. Go to the comments and write, "God is speaking to me, and I will obey his voice." Write it as a testimony that you have heard me today. Write it as a commitment that you will not ignore my words. Write it as a proclamation that you belong to me, and that my voice will always be the guide of your life. This is not a small thing. When you write it, you are making a covenant with your own soul. You are silencing the lies of the enemy. You are opening the door to greater revelation. For I do not speak once. I speak continually to those who honor my words. If you receive this message, greater messages will come. If you treasure my voice, deeper secrets will be revealed. I have spoken to you today. Do not harden your heart. Do not doubt what you know you feel in your spirit. This is not the imagination of man. This is your God, the one who saved your son, the one who defends your house, the one who calls you by name. Hear me, believe me, obey me, and you will see wonders greater than these. I am the Lord your God, and I speak not only of this moment, not only of this day, not only of this one intervention. I speak of a covenant that stretches from generation to generation, a promise that cannot be broken, a word that cannot return to me void. I speak of my promise for your children. Before you even formed the desire to become a parent, I already had plans for your offspring. Before your child drew his first breath, I had already written his destiny. My word says in Jeremiah 1:5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you." Do you understand what this means? Your son is not an accident. Your daughter is not a random existence. Each one of your children carries within them the seal of my intention, the breath of my design, the mark of my covenant. The enemy knows this, and that is why he rages against the little ones. From the beginning, he has tried to strike down children because he knows the future rests in them. He sought the male children of Israel in Egypt, but I preserved Moses. He sought the infants in Bethlehem, but I preserved my son. He sought your son, but I preserved him as well. The devil fears children, because in their future lies the continuation of my glory on the earth. That is why I say to you now, my promise for your children is strong, it is unshakable, it is eternal. Psalm 103:17 declares, "The mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting on those who fear him, and his righteousness to children's children." Do you hear that? My mercy does not stop with you. It flows to your children and to your children's children. My protection does not end with this one miracle. It extends into generations you have not yet seen. Your son has been spared, but that is only the beginning. I will raise him in strength. I will surround him with wisdom. I will anoint his steps so that his life will bear testimony to my power. He will not only live, he will thrive. He will not only survive, he will shine. For I have chosen him as a branch in your family tree to carry fruit for my kingdom. But hear me, the promise is not automatic for those who reject me. That is why I speak to you with urgency. Teach your children of my ways. Do not let them walk blindly in a world of deception. Guide them with my word, and remind them of what I have done. Tell them the story of this miracle, so that they will know their God is alive. If you sow truth into their hearts now, the harvest will be eternal blessing. I remind you of Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it. This is not simply advice, it is a divine principle. What you plant in them today will bear fruit tomorrow. And because I have saved your son, I now give you the responsibility to shape him for the destiny I have already written. My promise is also protection. Psalm 127:3 declares, "Children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward." If your children are my reward to you, do you think I will abandon them? No, I will guard them. I will protect them. I will send my angels to encamp around them. This does not mean the enemy will stop trying, but it means he will continue to fail. For every time he comes, my covenant stands stronger. Do not live in fear of the future of your children. Do not look at the world and say, "What hope is there for the next generation?" Look at my word and declare, "The seed of the righteous shall be delivered." Proverbs 11:21. That is my decree. Your children will not be lost to darkness. They will not be swallowed by despair. They will not be destroyed by tragedy. They are mine, and I will see them through. But I also call you to action. Cover them daily in prayer. Speak my promises over their lives. Anoint them with oil if you have faith. Declare my word when they wake and when they sleep. Remind them that they are chosen, they are loved, they are protected. Your responsibility as a parent is not only to feed their bodies, but to guard their souls. If you do this, the enemy will find no opening. Now, my child, I call you to seal this revelation. Do not let it pass as information. Turn it into declaration. Go to the comments and write, "God's promise covers my children and future generations." Write it boldly. Write it publicly. Write it as a covenant that you agree with heaven, that your children are not the property of darkness, but the inheritance of the Lord. Every time you declare my promises, you build a wall of fire around your family. Every time you speak my word, you drive the enemy back further. Every time you testify, you open the heavens for more blessing. So declare it now, and let your voice rise as a testimony that your house is sealed in my covenant. Never forget, my promise is not fragile. My promise is not temporary. My promise is eternal, flowing from generation to generation. And because you fear me, because you trust me, because you have received my word, your children are safe, your future is secure, and your legacy is protected in my hands. I am the Lord your God, and I will show you now what your natural eyes could not see. For when the enemy stretched his hand against your son, a war broke out in the unseen realm. Do not think that life is only flesh and blood, that events are only accidents, that circumstances are only coincidence. No, my child, behind every attack, behind every scheme, behind every sudden danger, there is a spiritual battle. And on that day, for the life of your son, heaven and hell clashed. The devil had been plotting in silence. He gathered spirits of destruction, spirits of confusion, spirits of fear. He wove a net. He sharpened arrows. He whispered lies to stir death into motion. To you, it might have seemed like a normal day, but in the unseen, powers of darkness were preparing an ambush. And just as they stepped forth, I, the Lord of hosts, released my command. I called my warrior, Michael, and I said, "Go now, for the destroyer approaches." And Michael did not hesitate. With legions at his back, he descended like fire, splitting the atmosphere, carrying my authority. The moment he entered the battlefield, the shadows trembled, for they remembered him, the angel who cast them down when they rebelled in heaven. The warrior who has never lost a battle fought in my name. Do you know what happens when Michael draws his sword? Darkness scatters, curses shatter, chains fall. And when he stood before the forces that surrounded your son, he lifted his voice with the words I placed upon him. "The Lord rebuke you, Satan." The sound of that decree shook the realm of darkness like thunder, and every demonic hand that reached for your child recoiled in terror. My child, you must understand this. The war was real. It was not a dream. It was not a story. It was not imagination. The destroyer came with full intent to end your son's life. He prepared his snare carefully. He thought victory was certain, but he miscalculated one thing. I am the God of covenant, and I do not abandon my own. What looked like a narrow escape to you was, in truth, a decisive battle in the heavens. While you slept, angels warred. While you worked, angels fought. While you prayed without knowing the depth of the danger, angels encircled your son. And because I am faithful, the enemy's arrows broke, his net tore apart, his scheme dissolved. What could have been your deepest sorrow has become your loudest testimony. This is why I warn you not to underestimate spiritual war. Do not walk blind in a world filled with invisible enemies. Do not think you can fight in your own strength, for the battle is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. But do not fear, for I have armed you. I have given you my word as a sword. I have clothed you with the armor of righteousness. I have surrounded you with hosts of angels. Every time you pray, you empower the armies of heaven. Every time you declare my promises, you sharpen your sword. Every time you worship, you release fire into the camp of the enemy. Do not neglect these weapons, for they are stronger than any scheme of hell. The war will not cease until the end, but my children are never defenseless. And know this, just as I fought for your son, I will fight for your entire household. Every battle the enemy wages will be met with greater force. Every scheme he designs will be torn apart. Every attempt he makes will be overturned. He has already lost, for my son triumphed on the cross. Michael enforces that victory, and my spirit empowers you to walk in it daily. Now I call you to act. Do not hear this word and remain passive. Stand up in faith. Clothe yourself with my armor. Cover your family in prayer. Declare over your son and your house that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And seal this chapter with a public declaration of faith. Go now to the comments and write, "The battle was won. God's angels fight for my family." When you declare this, you do more than type words. You testify. Your testimony becomes a shield. Your faith becomes a wall. Your declaration becomes a roar in the spirit. The enemy hoped you would stay silent, but every word you release honors me and shames him. Never forget, the war was real, but so was the victory. The attack was strong, but my defense was stronger. The enemy planned destruction, but I decreed life. And because I fought for your son, he lived. Because I warred in the heavens, your house stands. Because I am the Lord of hosts, no scheme of hell shall ever prevail against those who belong to me. I am the Lord your God, and I will show you the glory of what took place when my servant, the Archangel Michael, stood in battle for your son. You have heard of his presence. You have heard of the war. But now I reveal to you the victory, the triumph that shook the kingdom of darkness and secured life where death had been planned. The enemy came with fury, with arrogance, with confidence. He thought he had found a doorway, a weakness, an opening to strike your child. He gathered his forces, cloaked in shadow, and whispered, "This one will be mine." But he forgot one thing. I had already spoken. I had already claimed your son. I had already written his name in my book of life. And when the enemy rises against what belongs to me, he does not face flesh. He faces fire. I commanded Michael to move, and he came forth like a blazing storm. His arrival was not quiet. It was thunder in the heavens. Darkness scattered at the brightness of his presence, for his armor reflected the light of my glory, and his sword burned with the word I placed within it. The destroyer trembled, but he still dared to fight. He raised his weapons, he shouted his curses, he tried to stand firm. But Michael advanced with unshakable authority, declaring, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan." In that single moment, centuries of defeat echoed again in the ears of the adversary. He remembered the day he was cast out of heaven, when Michael and the hosts of light drove him down. He remembered the shame of rebellion, the crushing of his pride, and once more he tasted that defeat. Michael's sword struck, and chains shattered. Michael's shield rose, and arrows fell. Every snare the enemy had woven was cut apart. Every curse spoken was silenced. Every spirit of destruction was driven back into the abyss. My child, this was not a small victory. It was complete, decisive, undeniable. Michael did not fight halfway. He did not leave the battle unresolved. He pressed until every power of darkness was broken, until the destroyer had no strength left, until the path before your son was cleared. That is the nature of my victory. It is total. When I save fully. When I deliver completely. Consider what the outcome could have been. Without my intervention, you would be mourning today. Without Michael's victory, you would be broken. But instead, you are testifying. Instead, you are seeing your son alive. Instead, you are witnessing that I am still the God who fights for his people. What the enemy meant for evil has become a display of my glory, and all of hell has been reminded that my word cannot be overturned. This is why I sent Michael, not because you deserved it, but because I am faithful. Not because you earned it, but because I keep covenant. Not because you were strong enough, but because I love you and your household with an everlasting love. This victory belongs to you because you belong to me. Do not underestimate what this means. Every time Michael fights, it is not only for the present moment, it is for the future as well. His victory over the forces that came against your son has sealed a hedge of protection around him. The enemy will try again, but now he knows this house is guarded. This family is marked. This child is untouchable without crossing my fire. And he will tremble, for he has already lost once, and he will lose again. Lift your eyes, my child, and let faith rise in you. If I did this for your son, will I not do it for your whole family? If I sent Michael for him, will I not send my angels for you as well? If I fought this battle and won, will I not fight every battle until the end? Do not doubt, do not fear. You stand under a banner of victory, and that banner is love. And now I call you to declare it. Do not stay silent about this triumph. Speak it, write it, proclaim it. Go now to the comments and write, Michael has won the victory. My family is protected by God. This is not only a statement, it is a seal. By declaring it, you align your voice with heaven's voice, and you make known to the enemy that you recognize the victory that has been given to you. Testify, my child. Testify, for testimony multiplies miracles. Testify, for testimony keeps the memory alive. Testify, for testimony silences the accuser. Do not let this victory fade into silence. Let it roar from your lips so that all who hear may know that I am still the God who saves, who fights, who delivers. The victory of Michael is the victory of the Lord. The battle was fierce, but the outcome was certain. Your son lives, your house stands, and your future is secured, because I, the Lord of hosts, have spoken. I am the Lord your God, and I tell you now, what I began with your son will not stop with him. My hand of protection does not rest on only one member of your house. It spreads, it multiplies, it covers all who belong to you. For I am not a God of partial blessings. I am not a father who saves one child and abandons another. When I stretch forth my hand, it is to cover your entire household. Do you not remember what I spoke through my servant Joshua? As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That declaration was not a suggestion. It was a covenant. When a parent rises in faith, the blessing spills over onto the children, the grandchildren, even the generations yet unborn. My word in Acts 16:31 is clear. Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household. This is the blessing that now rests upon you. The same angel who fought for your son stands guard over your home. The same fire that pushed back death at your child's side burns at the doorway of your house. The same covenant that preserved his future stretches over every life that calls you mother, father, brother, sister. None are outside of my reach. None are beyond my shield. But hear me. The blessing is not only protection, it is provision, it is peace, it is prosperity. When I bless a house, I do not bless halfway. I bless fully. I bless the body with health, the mind with wisdom, the spirit with joy, and the table with abundance. I bless relationships with unity, marriages with strength, children with purpose. For my blessing is holistic. It touches every part of your life. You have cried for years, asking me to remember your family. You have wept in prayer for children who have wandered, for relatives who have been cold to me, for loved ones who seemed far away. Do you think I have ignored those tears? No, I have collected them. I have written them in my book. And now I say to you, because I saved your son, I will extend my saving hand to others in your family as well. This miracle is the first stone that causes the waters of blessing to ripple outward. Consider the blood of the lamb placed on the doorposts in Egypt. When the angel of death passed through, he did not spare one child while striking another. No, he passed over the entire house, for the covering was on the whole door. In the same way, the blood of my son covers not just an individual, it covers households. And now that you have seen my protection over one, expect my protection over all. Do not let the enemy deceive you into thinking this was a single event, isolated and rare. No, this is the beginning of a flow. What I started with one life, I will continue until your whole family stands as a testimony of my faithfulness. You will look around your table and see not absence but present, not sorrow but joy, not division but unity. For I am the Lord who restores families, who heals generations, who redeems entire bloodlines. But I call you to act. Do not keep this blessing silent within the walls of your heart. Speak it aloud over your family. Lay hands on your children and declare, "You are blessed of the Lord." Speak into your marriage. This union is covered by the covenant of God. Declare over your home, "This house belongs to Jesus." For life and death are in the power of the tongue. And when you release words of blessing, you build a fortress around your family. And I call you to testify openly. Go now to the comments and write, "My whole family is under God's blessing and protection." Write it not only as a statement, but as a decree. By writing it, you align with what heaven has already declared. By writing it, you silence the lie that only one can be blessed. By writing it, you invite my angels to continue encamping around every member of your household. Never forget, the enemy attacked your son, but I turned it into a blessing for all. He meant to destroy, but I meant to multiply. He meant to bring sorrow, but I brought joy. And from this day forward, let every member of your family walk with the knowledge that they are covered by the Lord of hosts. Your family is not forgotten. Your family is not forsaken. Your family is mine, and I will bless, protect, and prosper them. For I have spoken, and my word cannot be broken. I am the Lord your God, and I see the secret places of your heart. I know that even after witnessing my hand, fear still tries to whisper to you. You fear the future. You fear losing what you love. You fear the enemy returning stronger. You fear the shadows that creep in the night. But hear me clearly, my child. I have not only delivered your son from the hand of death, I am also delivering you from the chains of fear. Do you not know that fear is one of the greatest weapons of the enemy? He may not touch you, but he whispers. He may not enter your home, but he knocks at the door of your mind. He seeks to enslave you with thoughts that torment, to make you replay tragedies that never happened, to keep you bound in dread of things that will never come to pass. If he cannot destroy you, he will try to paralyze you. But I, the Lord, say to you, fear is a liar. Fear is a shadow that disappears when the light shines. Fear is a chain that snaps when faith rises. My word declares in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." If fear does not come from me, then you must reject it. Do not welcome it. Do not feed it. Do not let it sit at your table. Fear is an intruder, and you must cast it out in my name. Consider this, my child. If I have already proven my power by saving your son, what else could you possibly fear? If I have defeated the plans of the enemy once, will I not do it again? If I have sent Michael to fight for your child, will I now abandon you? No, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. What I did before, I will do again. What I spoke yesterday, I speak today. My hand does not grow weary. My shield does not break. My promises do not expire. Fear tells you the danger will return, but I tell you, the danger has been defeated. Fear says you will lose everything, but I say nothing can separate you from my love. Fear whispers, you are vulnerable, but I declare you are hidden under the shadow of my wings. I want you to picture this. Just as you cover your child when danger comes near, I cover you. Just as you hold your child close when fear rises in his eyes, I hold you. Do you not know that I am your father? Do you not understand that I am more protective over you than you could ever be over your son? My love is greater than your fear, and my protection is stronger than your anxiety. And so I command you now, release the fear. Lay it at my feet. Do not carry what I have already carried for you. Do not replay the enemy's lies in your mind as if they were truth. Replace them with my promises. Every time fear speaks, answer with my word. When fear says, what if tragedy strikes again? Respond with, the Lord is my refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. When fear says, I feel unsafe, respond with, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I want you free, my child. I do not want you bound to sleepless nights, anxious thoughts, or constant worry. I want you to live in the peace that passes all understanding. I want you to wake with joy, to walk with confidence, to rest knowing that heaven fights for you. This is my will for you, and I am declaring it over your life now. You are delivered from fear. But deliverance is not passive. It requires your agreement. That is why I ask you now to make a declaration. Go to the comments and write, I am free from fear. My trust is in God. When you write it, you break the silence fear depends on. When you declare it, you proclaim truth over your own mind. When you testify, you strengthen not only yourself, but also others who read and believe. Remember this, fear cannot dwell where faith reigns. You are not called to fear. You are called to faith. You are not meant to tremble. You are meant to stand. You are not destined for torment. You are destined for peace. And because I am the one who saved your son, I am also the one who saves your soul from the prison of fear. Walk now in freedom. Fear no longer has authority over you. Fear no longer speaks louder than my word. Fear no longer dictates your thoughts or steals your joy. You are delivered. You are free. And you are covered by the everlasting arms of the Almighty. I am the Lord your God, and I tell you this truth. The miracle you have witnessed is not the end. It is the beginning. My intervention in your son's life was not only to save him from death, but to open a door for your entire household into a new season. The enemy wanted to close the path before you. He wanted to trap you in fear, poverty, sorrow, and confusion. But by my hand, I have opened a door that no one can shut, and I call you to walk through it. Understand this, every miracle is a doorway. When I parted the Red Sea for Israel, it was not only to deliver them from Pharaoh's army, it was to lead them into a new land. When I shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, it was not only to preserve his life, it was to exalt him and show my power to nations. When I raised Lazarus from the grave, it was not only to give him breath again, it was to prove that I am the resurrection and the life. Likewise, the miracle of your son's deliverance is not just about survival, it is about destiny. Your family has entered a new chapter. The shadows that once loomed over you have been scattered. The fear that once bound you has been broken. The cycle that the enemy wanted to repeat in your bloodline has been interrupted. I am rewriting the story of your house, and this door I have opened will lead you into blessing, prosperity, unity, and peace. Do not look back as though you are still in danger. Do not live as if the old chains remain. The snare was broken. The trap was destroyed. The curse was canceled. I have opened a new path, and you must walk it with courage. My word says in Revelation 3:8, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." This is not a suggestion, it is a reality. The door is open before you now. Through this door, your son will grow into the destiny I have designed. Through this door, your prayers will be answered with new speed. Through this door, financial provision will flow where there was once lack. Through this door, healing will manifest where there was once sickness. Through this door, peace will reign where there was once turmoil. But hear me, when I open a door, the enemy will try to distract you from entering. He cannot close what I have opened, but he will try to blind you so that you do not see it. He will whisper, "It was just luck. Nothing has really changed." He will try to plant doubt so that you hesitate at the threshold. Do not believe his lies. If you hesitate, you delay. If you doubt, you weaken. But if you believe, if you step boldly, if you declare my word, you will walk through and possess the land I have prepared. I want you to see yourself as Israel standing before the promised land. The giants are still there, but the land is yours. The obstacles remain, but the victory has already been won. Do not shrink back in fear. Do not say, "We are too small." Say instead, "The Lord has given us this land, and we will enter." For faith is the key that unlocks the door I have opened. And this is not only for you, but for your entire household. Just as I saved your son, I will bring salvation, deliverance, and blessing to every member of your family. This door is wide enough for all of you. Walk through it together. Teach your children to believe. Encourage your spouse to stand in faith. Unite your family around my promises, and you will see abundance in every area of life. Now I call you to act. Do not leave this chapter unsealed. Testify with your mouth that you see the open door. Go now to the comments and write, "God has opened a new door for my family, and we will walk through it." When you write this, you are not simply typing words. You are stepping forward in the Spirit. You are declaring that you recognize the season you are in, and you are choosing faith over doubt. My child, rejoice, for the door is open. It is not a small door, it is a wide door. It is not a temporary door, it is eternal. It is not a fragile door, it is unshakable. And as you walk through, you will see that what began with your son's salvation will overflow into every part of your life. For I am the God who opens, and no man, no demon, no power of hell can shut what I have set before you. Walk boldly, walk faithfully, and do not look back. The door is open, the way is clear, the future is secured. I have spoken, and it is done. I am the Lord your God, and I have shown you what has taken place. Your son was saved, your family has been covered, and a new door has been opened for you. But hear me now. A miracle is not meant to be hidden. A blessing is not meant to be kept in silence. When I move, I call my children to respond. You must not only receive this word, you must act upon it. I tell you, there are 3 things you must do now to keep this blessing alive in your life. First, remain steadfast in faith. Do not let the days pass as if nothing has happened. Speak daily the words of life I have given you. Cover your son and your family in prayer. Read my word and declare my promises. When you do this, you strengthen the hedge around your house and ensure that the enemy finds no opening. Second, testify. Tell others what I have done for you. Do not keep the story of your son's deliverance locked away. Testimony multiplies miracles. When you share, you not only glorify me, but you also ignite faith in others who are desperate for my intervention. Speak boldly, so that others may know I am alive and moving. Third, Stay connected to the voice I am using to reach you. This channel is one of the ways I am speaking to you, one of the streams through which I am pouring my word into your life. By staying connected, you position yourself to receive more words, more revelation, more guidance for the days ahead. Now I ask you to act in faith and obedience. Do not delay. Go now and subscribe to this channel so that my word may continue to reach you. Help bring this channel to the milestone of 100,000 subscribers. For when my people unite, greater things are released. Your click is more than a number. It is a declaration that you are part of the army of faith that I am raising in these last days. I also invite you to sow into this word. If you have been touched, if you have been blessed, if you have seen the power of my hand, then show your gratitude. A simple way is by leaving a super thanks offering of $100 as a sign that you honor what I have done. It is not payment for my miracle, for my miracles cannot be bought, but it is an act of faith and gratitude that opens more doors for blessing in your life. For those who honor me, I honor in return. And finally, do not keep this message to yourself. Share it. Send it to 3 friends, 3 family members, 3 souls who need hope, who need protection, who need to know that I still move in power. By sharing, you become an instrument of my voice, and you allow the same blessing that touched your son to ripple outward into the lives of others. Go now, my child. Obey my word. Subscribe, give thanks, and share. Seal this blessing with action, not only with words, and remember always, I am the Lord your God. I have saved, I have spoken, and I will continue to move in your life if you walk in faith. Now I call you to declare in the comments, I receive this blessing, I will walk in faith, and I will share God's word. Write it, proclaim it, and seal it. Your miracle is real. Your door is open. Your future is secure. Now rise, act, and let your testimony shine before all.